Hey everybody, welcome back to Why Is This a Podcast? I'm your host, Kieran Watts. Really excited to be back. My friend Sam Cadwallader is with us. You'll see him in a minute. I did just want to mention, one thing briefly, which is the fact that Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel, is no longer the Prime Minister of Israel. He's gone. After 12 years, he's gone. And I welcome that for the pure and simple reason that he's an incredibly corrupt politician. I don't want to be sort of sub judice here, um, but it is sort of comforting to see a transition in leadership. My knowledge of Israeli politics is not as advanced as it should be, so whether or not I should even be commenting on it is up for grabs. But obviously, corruption in politics is something we see a lot. And the fact that a very corrupt man is no longer in office is sort of a comforting sight to see. I also do just want to briefly mention as well the continuing crisis in India. They're still crying out for oxygen, ventilators, vital medical equipment. So if you can afford to, please do donate. Or if there's a charity that's close to your heart, and charity is going to be a big part of this conversation today. But if you can afford to, please do just donate, and it can help us all get through this shit together. Because we're in the end game now, or it feels like we are. And I hope I've not jinxed it by saying that. But then again, with the cosmic forces of the universe, I don't think I have that much influence. But anyway, on to the discussion. As I mentioned, he's a DJ, musician, and just a really lovely guy. Please welcome back to the show, my friend and yours, Mr. Sam Cadwallader. Hey, Sam.
Thank you so much for having me again.
Lovely to see you. Thank you for being here.
Mate, I love coming on this podcast. It's just a nice little chat, you know. I love it.
I mean, I'm glad that my tough style of questioning didn't put you off the last time.
No.
I've had people, I've reached out to Piers Morgan and said, "Will you come on?" And you go, "No, I've watched your show and I'm too afraid to because you're so tough."
Ooh.
Well, no,
Piers
no.
Morgan, I'm harder than you. There we go.
In all seriousness, though, it is lovely to see you again, and
Honestly, I
with
appreciate it
this,
so much.
with your hair as well, and we'll obviously come to why your hair is
Is this
so
long?
long later on. The first of all, I need to congratulate you because you've got a new single out
Yeah. Yeah,
with
we do.
Morgan Jones and Niall Harris, and the three of us the four of us can hopefully have um, a discussion around that in the future. But the new single is All of You
Mm-hmm.
from your EP Inversion.
Yes.
Um, well, what can you tell me about those two things? What can you tell me about the EP and
Oh,
single, and what how it came together? What can you tell me?
well, it all started. Morgan and Niall at first were a duo group. And then one day, Niall was like, Sam, you can come watch how we make music. I was like, yeah, go on. I love music. Everyone knew that I DJed in the past, and everyone just loves I know it. And then he was like, oh, I actually kind of need help structuring like this song. So I was like, all right, let me listen to it. Straight away, I helped him structure it. I said, oh, maybe take that out, then put this in, and then so on, so on. Then it eventually led to all of us being like, you know what? Let's just make it a thing. Like let's all become a trio
Become a
producing.
trio, not a duo.
Yeah, we're a trio now. Like
With
at
no
first,
with no name, but I've suggested I suggested two to you before we started recording. I suggested two to you. So remember to give me a cut of your proceeds when you inevitably get big.
So we do have a name.
Okay.
It's Vivid Illustrator.
Vivid Illustrator.
Vivid Illustrator, because the stuff that we illustrate create vivid sort of like images and so on.
Yeah.
And like that's our like main thing.
I think I can follow the reason.
Yeah, like it's just self-explanatory, But yeah, it took us so long to think of a name. For a brief period of time, I think Niall said this. We were mango chutters or something like that. And we were making these hoodies with little mangoes on them and stuff.
I like the name.
Yeah,
I really actually like the name. I like.
We could have had it. We could have had it.
What you should do, you should have Vivid Illustrators as the name of your trio, and then Mango Chatters should be the name of like your production company.
Yeah, there we go. That's our regular label.
That's what you should do. That's what you should do.
Yeah, we will. I'll message Niall now. I'll just be like, yo, Mango Chatters is still the thing.
It's all right. Niall watches the show, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, too right. I made sure that he watched my one, and he's gonna watch this one now.
Thank you, Niall. Niall, hello.
Yeah, Niall, make sure you do watch this.
We'll find out if you don't.
Yeah.
We'll find out.
Honestly, I'll find out.
Well, I mean, yeah, I will too. And Morgan as well.
Morgan. Oh yeah. I know Morgan.
Morgan, you better watch too.
I've known Morgan watched a few because he said to me.
No, he told me as well. Actually, he's told me.
Yeah, when I told him I was going to come on again, he was like, "Oh, I've actually watched like a few of them." I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." So you actually understand.
I know. Morgan's told me that he's. I think Niall might have told. Anyway. James is going to have to edit that out anyway. No, I mean, but hopefully I'll be able to have all three of you on together to talk about it. But your insight is obviously valuable. And I've listened to the single, as I told you earlier, and it is honestly, it's very, very good. I mean, it's not the type of music I usually listen to, as you know, but I do. I did enjoy it. I thought it's a great piece of work, and you can tell because of the type of music that it is. You could tell that a lot of work went into it.
There's
and if a lot of work goes into something, then a lot of passion goes into it too.
Yeah. There's a fun fact about the song.
Mm-hmm.
The vocals. At first, we didn't like the vocals.
Right.
We just found them as like a filler.
Yeah.
And then the more we listened to it, and then we found it, and it actually worked with the sound. It was like, oh my god, these vocals are amazing.
That's creativity, isn't it? To a point, like because when I do writing, I get frustrated when and obviously when it's writing, I've only got myself to blame because I'm the one doing it. I'm there like, how do I string this shit together?
Yeah.
How do I, make this work, that work? How do I decide what works? How do I decide what doesn't work? And then you do get, I don't want to make it kind of like a cliche, but like you get the eureka moment. You're like, there, I've got it. I've got like this synergy between what I wanted to do and what I've done. And now it's together. And so I get what you mean there. I mean, I've never been musically minded, but except in terms of listening to it, but I've always sort of tried to have a creative streak and to nurture a creative streak. And so I get like kind of, I think what people don't understand is that early on, you're gonna be frustrated. You're going to hate parts of it. You're going to really just get angry that either what someone else has done or what you've done just isn't working. And you kind of got to be there like, if you can't handle that early frustration, then you got to get out of the game. But it is worth it when you have that moment where you're like, yeah, that clicks. I've
Yeah.
got it.
We've had so many like you said, eureka moments. Like we'd be making this one song and then we'd make like a certain sound. We'd be like, that's a completely new song in itself. And then that's how we'd make the new song, and then it just go from here and there and there.
Is it? I mean, do you sort of, because it's something that I do. I don't know if the giant bookshelves have given it away, but I
Fun
read
fact, all these books are actually your books that you've written.
it. I read a lot and I watch a lot. And part of the reason I do it is obviously for, pleasure. I like to read, I like to watch films and TV. But, part of it, I think, is naturally you want to sort of like, can you find inspiration? Can you?
Yeah, like escape reality a little bit and just imagine all these different scenarios and stuff.
And one of the things I say to people is, because they say to me, do you read fiction? Do you read non-fiction?
Mm.
Or which one do you prefer? And I say, I like them both. And part of the reason for that is, you see, and it's the same with watching stuff. Um, when I see something non-fiction, I'm like, holy shit, that would be like a great idea for like a story, a book, a script, whatever. So, do you get that yourself with music?
When we listen to other people, like one of our biggest inspirations has been a guy called Frankie Wah. He makes like a lot of, it's like breakbeat music, but it's like a lot of like atmospheric stuff too. So that's why we've gone for like the more atmospheric, fast, well, not like too fast drums, but like, they're like pretty faster than your original fucking charty music stuff. But yeah, we always like listen to other people and think, wow, we could make something like that, but then add more like reverb and like
How does it ever enter your head? Sort of like, because obviously when you listen to music, you feel something.
yeah.
And do you ever think, how can I do something? How can I make something that makes someone else feel how I felt when I listened to that piece of music?
So with music, I've always listened to music like it's telling me like a story
Yeah.
because it's very emotive. Music is very like, it just has that passion. You can hear the passion that went into it.
Hmm.
And so when we listen to like people like Frankie Webb, Deadmau5, so on, we always say like, okay, we need to make the story. We're like, there's like a very, very like slow female vocal where she's like saying whatever. Now we like make these synthesizers which sound very like moody, and then we slowly change it so it's like happy and like
Yeah.
it's just a lot of like emotions that go into like a story, and that's why we want to make people feel like they're listening to
They're
the
listening to
story.
something with substance,
Yeah, like
something with meaning and reality behind.
yeah, and like that's why we call like vivid illustrator. So
Yeah.
like all the stuff that we make just create this vivid like image of, oh, I can see what they're going for.
The music that you make yourself, because as a DJ, obviously you're used to playing other people's music,
A lot, yeah.
and often like what other people do, what other people sort of either record in terms of music or what like films about, what they write about, or even like public speaking. What does it that tells you about yourself in a way, I feel. If it's good art, if it's effective, then it tells you something about yourself. When you're doing it yourself, when you're writing stuff yourself, what does that tell you about yourself?
Well, I'll tell you what, that's a pretty good question. Like,
I'll tell you if you want what this show has told me about myself.
okay.
What and maybe like some of what I've wrote, because it's a bit of a loaded question. So obviously it's fair to give you a moment to think about it. Well, this show has told me about myself, first of all, is that I need to shut up more and to listen more. Because like obviously I have fun with this show. I really do. I love doing it.
And I can see it too. Like when you're doing the interviews and stuff, I can see that you're very like I said about the music, you're very passionate about it. You can see it.
Oh, and I love talking to people. I do love talking to people about what matters to them,
Yeah.
what they care about. But what is kind of taught me and what I get out of it is that my existence sort of it only goes so far. There are things that people go through
Mm.
that I could never imagine.
Yeah.
The things that people think that I would never ever think.
Exactly.
There's just the whole spectrum of human emotion is just so vast that, like I said, it tells me that from time to time, well, more than that, like a lot of the time, I need to just shut up and I need to listen to people and let
Yeah.
them tell me. And I don't mean that in the context of telling me what to think. I like to think no one ever will.
Mm.
But tell me there's an angle that you're missing. And that necessarily, as part of the human condition, you can't be right all the time because and you can't always think that you know best. And that's what this show kind of has taught me about myself in talking to, not just you, but when I've spoken to Jeff and Jude Davis of Morgan's Wings and their
And like
experience
in the previous one, you spoke
of this
to
carriage.
yeah, you spoke to the guy who was doing the smoking, wasn't it?
The Foundation for a Smoke-Free World, yeah,
Yeah.
Dr. Yak.
Yeah, lovely guy, by the way.
When I've spoken to people on health a lot of the time, health is something that in my full-time job, I work on. And
Yeah.
so that's what it teaches me about myself, is that I've always got scope to learn and grow as a person.
Mm.
And and so that's why I'm wondering, what does your own music, your own craft, what does that teach you about yourself?
For a long time, I've been going through like a lot of shit, mental health shit. Everyone does.
Yeah.
So when I'm making my music, it just makes me feel like I'm just relieving all my stresses and like all my, this, that, the other. So what does it make me feel?
What does
That's
it
what
make?
I think.
Does it make you feel? Because one of the things that this makes me feel is that I can, in some way, make a difference.
Yeah.
That I've actually created something. Does that ring true for you at all?
Like I love creating my DJ mixes and stuff. I've loved it ever since I was 12.
Hmm.
And like as I've grown older and I've become more like thinking more about what's happening around me and what's happening to me, my music style has become a little bit more um I don't know, is bits.
Reflective, perhaps.
Yeah, like it becomes more true to me.
Like a mirror, in a way.
Yeah.
That
Like
you.
I listen to this guy, Mike Skinner. He's the singer for the Streets, and he has this song called "Dry Your Eyes, Mate." It was big in like 2004,
Yeah.
and just when he sings, it's not even if he's like singing; he's like just speaking to you, and he's like saying, keep your chin up because shit happens. You just gotta deal with it and just push on and on.
In a certain sense, it teaches you how to cope.
Yeah.
One of the ones that I remember, um, it's Hallelujah. by, well, originally by Leonard Cohen. But the version that most people are familiar with, I think, is the Jeff Buckley version. And the extraordinary disconnect between those two versions of the same song, where Cohen, his voice is almost like a growl.
Yeah.
As he sings it, and he has like a backing chorus, whatever. Then Buckley is smooth as velvet. But Buckley, even though Cohen's the one who's almost like he's growling, Buckley's the one who sounds like he's in the most pain.
Yeah.
Because it does, there's like a resignation to it.
Yeah, it's like more expressive.
And there's just this sort of this soul. And don't get me wrong, I love the Leonard Cohen version as well.
Oh yeah, it's all right.
But Buckley's version is just this, it's almost like grief. There can be beauty in pain.
Yeah.
Like what I say to people sometimes is that there is comedy in tragedy. There's beauty in tragedy. Like, for example, losing a loved one. Obviously, the grief is tremendous, but then you also get the love that you had for them, that you still have for them.
And
you get to, it's almost like you get to experience that again. You get the memory and you get, and then in terms of expressing that through art, that's what I think it does teach people about themselves.
It's very visceral, I think, is the word I'm looking for.
But in terms of the single, I mean, honestly, it's great. I wish you the best of luck with it. Honestly, if you like your answer was brilliant, and I appreciate your candor and your authenticity.
Yeah, that's the one thing I always think. How can I be as authentic and open as possible? Because I'm a really tough person to open up to people, but because I know you on a personal level, I've spoken many of times.
Yeah,
I can just be open and honest 100% of the time.
Do keep in mind that other people will probably see this.
At the minute, it's only me and you. That's what matters.
Well, I appreciate that, and I think, I've never thought of you in anything other than the most positive way.
I appreciate it.
Because, and this is one of the reasons why, is because you've got a heart of gold, and this is just honestly incredible what you're doing, and you've had such success with it. And by the time that this goes out, I hope that you've had even more success, and I'm 100% confident that you will have had it. You're at the moment doing fundraising for prostate cancer.
Yes.
UK. Why was, if you don't mind me asking, why was that particular organization, why was that so important to you to do this?
So back in 2005, we're going way back. I lost my whole world, my idol, to prostate cancer. I lost my granddad. And like growing up, I just thought, it's just natural causes. But then when I hit like the age of like 14, 15, I was like, oh shit, it was actually cancer that, done it. And ever since then, I've just always thought, how can I make my grands proud of me? And earlier on in the year, I thought, let's do a charity. Let's do a fundraiser thing.
And how are you raising money?
We're doing it through a website. Just Giving is like a UK website.
We'll put the link to it in the description down below.
Thanks.
I've already recorded a video to encourage people to give, and that'll go out before our interview does.
Thank you so much.
But what are you going to do to raise money?
At the minute, we're doing milestones, and milestones are so at £100, I was going to do a DJ set. I was going to do a DJ set anyway, but we reached £100, so I got to do a DJ set. I think it was 150. I had to do an ice bath, which is going to be hell because I've never done an ice bath before.
God, I did the ice bucket challenge once.
I remember doing that once too. That is not going to be as bad.
That was bad enough. That was bad enough.
I
don't. It was so bad. I never posted the video of me doing it. It was so bad because I really hated it. I never posted the video of me doing it. I just thought I'll give somebody to the ALS.
Yeah.
I'm not promoting my humiliation. So ice bath. I know that you'll be waxing your legs.
I will be waxing my legs as well. That was milestone 200.
And in addition, what people will notice who saw our previous interview is that your hair is rather long. Can you tell me why that is, Mr. Cadwallader?
Right. I'm glad you asked. So at the £250 mark, which literally about half hour ago,
on the day we're recording this,
which is the
18th of June,
we have reached the £250 mark. So firstly, thank you all so much who's donated already. I appreciate it a shit ton. I love you all. At £250, all of this will get shaved, which is going to be shit because I'm already receding. So I'm going to be bald for good. So
it's a honestly, all joking aside and all sorts of humor aside, it's a beautiful thing that you're doing. And I do just want to say this, and I hope you don't mind me saying this on camera while we're recording, but I know that even if you weren't doing this, your Grant should still be proud of you.
Yeah.
Because you're a wonderful guy, very talented guy. I've always had a lot of respect and admiration for you. And honestly, I'm sure he's proud of you. And this is just one of many, many, many reasons why he'll be proud of you.
I'd say most of the things I do is to make him proud, to be fair. Like, even my DJ name was his old nickname. Like, because I want to be not exactly like him, but I want to be as much like him as possible.
You want to be sort of, it's almost like you want to follow in his footsteps, but chart your own course.
Yeah. Like he was that person who just inspired me to do so much stuff, and then when he passed away, me being young, I just cry and cry and cry. I still, still get upset by it today.
You still, grief never goes away.
No, it never does.
But like I said, like we mentioned earlier, grief, I think, is the very definition of a double-edged sword, because obviously there's the heartbreak, but then there's also the fact that you're reminded of A, how much you loved that person, and B, why you loved them.
When he passed away, I actually got given his blanket.
Yeah.
And I still have the blanket. and I've never got rid of it. I've taken it everywhere I've ever been. Like, so on the holidays, like when I went to Spain and so on and so forth, I'd always take my blanket. It never ever leaves my side. It's always there, honestly. Like,
I
you
think
know, I just love him.
I know you do. I can tell. Well, I mean, you're about to shave your head.
Yeah.
You're about to shave your head in his memory. So I don't trust me, Sam. I don't dispute the sincerity of your of your affection for him.
Um,
One of the things I think that is beautiful, again in quite a strange way, is you'll maybe walk past something or you'll smell something or see something that reminds you of a person.
yeah.
And I think that is a beautiful thing.
But
I honestly do.
I've even mistaken myself for my grand's before when I was young. I remember Halloween was coming around or something, and I remember asking my mom, "Can I wear my cowboy outfit?" She was like, "You've never had a cowboy outfit." I was like, "Yeah, I do. There's a picture of me in a cowboy outfit over my nan's house." She's
And
like, "All right,
that,
show me the picture." So I showed her the picture of my nan's house. She's like, "That's not you."
that's your good.
Yeah. So in a lot of ways, even my family say it all the time, you look more and more like your Granch every single time that we see you. And you know, that makes me happy because I feel like I am following my footsteps of like being him in a
Yeah.
way.
Well, I mean, like I said, I'm really grateful to you for coming on and being so honest about something um, that's obviously so difficult. And like I said, I'm not blowing smoke up your ass here. I know that he's proud of you,
Yeah.
not just for what you're doing now, but for everything you've achieved, including this great single. So, Sam, thank you so much for being here. Thanks for coming back. Please give generously to Prostate Cancer UK. The link to the link to Sam's Just Giving page will be in the description of this video, as will the link to the single on SoundCloud. The single is All of You. The charity is Prostate Cancer UK, and the lovely, lovely, wonderful young man is my friend and yours, Mr. Sam Cadwallader. Thank you again, Sam.
Thank you so much for having me.
And I'll see you when we have Morgan and Niall.
Yes, hopefully,
Hopefully soon.
hopefully very soon. And also, I hope I'm the first guest to make an appearance 3 times.
Again, I told you I have to fact check that.
You do, you do.
But even if you're not three, we can always make you four.
Even if we're not three, even if this is my last time, I'm so grateful to be on this podcast.
Sam, this will be your last time only if hell freezes over.
Well, there we go.
Give generously, listen generously, and even if you don't donate to Sam's individual fundraiser, Prostate Cancer UK you can of course donate to it beside, and there are many other charities out there working to support those affected by prostate cancer and advance research.
Prostate cancer hasn't just affected me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure it's affected thousands and thousands of.
It's a huge issue.
Yeah,
And
so I feel like even though to me it is mainly for my Granch, but it's not just for him, it is for everyone because it does affect millions of males every year.
One thing I should say as well is if you have an issue, get your prostate checked. Make sure you get checked if you have a problem, especially if you're of a certain age where you're statistically more likely to get it. Good God. I've had to have one. It's not a pleasant experience, but I had it. because I was concerned for my health, and I had a
And
prostate
it's nothing embarrassing having a chat.
No,
Honestly,
it's not, and it's worth being temporarily uncomfortable than being terminally ill.
Hmm.
So please get yourself checked, speak to your doctor if you're worried, and if you can afford to, please donate to either Sam's campaign. Maybe there's somebody you know who's doing a similar campaign, or just donate to a charity. And if you can't afford to, obviously that's fine, but you know, be kind to each other. And also, if you know someone who maybe should go and have a checkup, but they're too embarrassed to do so, just encourage them, go with them if that would make them feel more comfortable. And also remember to please stay safe, wear the mask. Um, if you're not medically exempt, and get the vaccine if you
have
can.
you had your vaccine?
I've had my first dose.
I've had my first dose too.
That's great. See, Sam's had it too.
Yeah, see,
Sam's
making
had
a
it
difference
too.
in the world.
Exactly. It's good. You and me should do like PSAs together.
Oh yeah,
Go,
you'd be the main speaker
go
though,
get the
'cause you
nurse to
actually
stick
know.
a finger up your ass. Might save your life.
And I'll be like, yeah, listen to him.
We'll be we can like we should have like a poster where you and me are like back to back.
Yeah. Just
I'll hang on. I don't know which way you go the other way. Go the other way. I don't know. We can close enough. Close enough.
yeah, that'll do.
I mean, I don't think we'd be able to edit that very convincingly,
No,
given that we're very obviously in different rooms.
yeah.
But no, all joking aside, the messages that we're sending are incredibly true. I'm not saying that either of us know better than you, but we know it to be true. So I suppose you've been told. Don't please donate. He deserves it. He's gonna be bald.
Yeah, yes, I'm gonna be bald, I think, after this for the rest of my life.
So there.
It's for a good cause. If you
And
want to see,
it's for a good cause.
it's for a good cause. Seeing me bald is not a great thing, but it's for a good cause. So,
Well, he's gonna be bald, and he's gonna have his knackers in an ice bath. Come on.
yeah, I ain't gonna get my legs waxed.
Give the guy a break. Yeah, he's gonna have his legs waxed. Give the guy a break. And it's for a good cause. Most importantly, it's for a good cause.
That's it. That's the main.
But take care, everybody. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay well. Be nice to each other. I'm not, but doesn't mean you can't. From Why Is This a Podcast? I am Kieran Watt. My guest was the wonderful Mr. Sam Cadwallader. Check the description for the links that you need, and we'll see you next time. Lovely to see you all again. Take care. We love you. Ta.